It's been a long journey here on Splash Play, drafting teams since way back in January. But of course, we got to come to an end at some point. Today, we reached that end in Best Ball Mania. Drafts number 149 and 150 coming up for me today on stream. This weekend, we'll hit 200 stream drafts with our friends on Drafters, but it's a big week here. Of course, lots of closing out of streams. I know our pal Pete Over's at Neil Orfield going right now, but I'm going to go live now. And hopefully, if you guys want to watch that stream, come back for my 150th. You can do that. This is draft number 149 for me. And of course, I am in the very familiar 11 hole, which they have been punishing me with lately. I have been plumb stuck in this spot for a while now. I guess I will continue to be, but excited to be here today. And of course, got one more burst of preseason news to get to. Jamar Chase at practice yesterday, but did not practice. I did not see an update this morning yet, but the hold in for him is now back on hold in, hold out. He wants a deal. Seems like they got to give him the deal. And again, they talked about it yesterday, but a penny higher than the Jefferson contract seems possible. Puka Nacua practicing after his knee injury held him out, so people concerned about that one. Feels like should be less concerned. I know there's still some FUD going around out there. People hyping up Cooper Kupp as the alternative to Puka. I don't see it myself. I think you take the young guy who had a historic rookie year. Puka Nacua, though, back in practice. Brandon Ayuk missed practice yesterday because he was agreeing to a 4-year, $120 million deal that I said he wanted from day one. But apparently, this $30 million per year deal has been on the table since August 12th. Finally, Ayuk, I guess, maybe he wanted to get more money. But initially, the reports were Niners wanted to give him 24. He wanted to get 30. I thought they'd meet in the middle. Turned out, nope. They just met a new middle thanks to some of the new contracts going around out there. Brock Bowers expected to play week 1. Actually, no, real fast with the Niners thing. After we make a pick, there was one interesting little gossip item. I mean, do we go for it one more time? We got 14% Puka. Wouldn't mind getting a little bit more Drake London, get him closer to these guys as well. You know what? Let's see. Let's see what this guy does, right? Is that the right move? You know what? If it's for the brand, it's my second to last draft. We'll go for Puka and MHJ one more time, and I'm sure Cap is going to break it up in the middle here. Like a Keme Mutombo swap blocking the correlation I want. We'll see in a minute. There we go. Should have just taken Drake London. Should have just taken Drake London. We get him anyway, though. Drake London here, a Puka Drake London combo, which is a little bit less common for me than a Marvin Harrison Drake London combo. So we'll start with that. And of course, taking Drake London means we are live for another Jaden Daniels team. See, I could get that exposure up down the home stretch. So the big interesting thing to me, Diana Rossini from The Athletic reporting, the Niners tried to get Cortland Sutton for a third rounder from Denver in order to flip Ayuk to Pittsburgh. If Denver had given up Sutton, apparently that trade would have happened. So a bit of a thing we never heard reported out. Also surprising here, Denver wouldn't give up Sutton for a third rounder. Denver clearly views him as an important part of them going 8-9 this year, but there we go. We got, Nico. I think I got enough Nico right now, right? Nico's one of my highest exposed receivers. I got 15%. Trying to level it out. I think all these guys in this range are equally valid plays. I do love Nico, but maybe get Nico in 150 coming up here. Brock Bowers expected to play week 1, so hopefully a good news item there after missing a lot of practice recently, some foot issues. Deontay Foreman back signed with Cleveland, so you could theoretically draft him, but it shows sort of how meaningless he is overall to what they're trying to do, that they would cut him and release him. Nobody else wants him out there. He comes back, so he's going to get some goal line work probably, but probably doesn't last very long. Nick Chubb comes back in. Deontay Foreman probably comes out. And honestly, wouldn't shock me if Foreman were off the roster if Nick Chubb came back in. Terrace Marshall, last news item here. Last news item of the year because I'm not doing updates on the weekends besides just talking about it generally. So Terrace Marshall signs to the Niners practice squad. Thought it was vaguely interesting. Guy that has some decent pedigree. A team that's sharp. Team that should be able to develop players. He's a better version of the Danny Gray kind of guys they've had as farm hands in the last few years. Ronnie Bell as well. So Terrace Marshall, don't know that it matters, but if everybody goes down, I guess that's when he would come back in. Maybe for next year. I mean, honestly, Terrace Marshall's talent, a year in that system, maybe can cause some trouble for Ricky Pearsall taking over likely a traded Deebo Samuel's role. But there we go, guys. One last news break. Show some love here, even though it's only 4 minutes in. Subscribe down below, hit the like button. Usually I put this later in the video, but you guys know at this point I've been doing the work on stream every day that basically there have been drafts open. We did a big board the moment it opened, and I did rookie prep even before that. That has been the promise here that I give you on Splash Play, and that promise I'm going to keep fulfilling throughout the rest of the NFL season as well, moving to DFS. Exciting partnership coming up with the Solver. So this year, we're not going to use Fantasy Cruncher. We're going to compare the Solver to Stochastic, and I think it's going to be probably the biggest edge you're going to find for the showdown slates as well as the main slate. So that's an exciting one for me. Affiliate deals for both of them coming up. But really, that's the main thing to me is showing you guys the products I think matter the most. I would do Saber Sim too, but I don't know anybody over there. But I think really that's the goal of what I'm trying to do this year. Again, they felt like worked really well last year, is trying to focus on, hey, this is how I gamble. This is how I want to approach these slates. Here's what I'm finding based upon the projections, based upon the tools out there. How do you get different tournaments from that? So this year, it's going to be even more of that. And, I'm still considering guest booking. I feel like one thing, too, I've had some comments lately, like, Spags have enjoyed this stuff or whatever, to varying degrees. I'm giving the eloquent version of it. Like, Spags have enjoyed the content, but I wish you would have some guests on. And it's like, I get that. First of all, I like having guests too. I like talking to other people for the most part. This year was about me, especially after the Football Outsider stuff last year. It was sort of about me just like reclaiming what I want to do for myself and what I want to be and what my content to be without being stuck, on the purse strings of somebody else, on the whims of somebody else. And that's really what this has been about for me. Like, Splash Play, we had done the deal with Football Outsiders. We talked to Stochastic. Stochastic didn't want to pay up for the show initially. So that's why I kind of started to do our own thing a little bit. We talked to Fantasy Life in the early days about partnering with them. And it's like, look, I would love to partner with somebody if I can, but I want this to be just about what I want to do with football and how I view it, and how at some point then when I build that foundation, then what other people think about it and how we can yell at each other and do fake ESPN talking head things. But for right now, this year is really just about me, like building a foundation of what I think football content should be and what I enjoy and what I would like my channel to be and what I would like my work to be. So this has been really more than anything. And I do appreciate you guys sticking along for that ride here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of sappy, sentimental things that you all come to your best ball streams to expect. But that's one for me up top, that I'm appreciative of the opportunity here that you guys just showing up every day gives me. And also there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more people to reach and be mean to initially, and hopefully win them over the course of time, or scare them away and make them dislike every video. Sometimes it's also the case. Congrats, Harris Marshall Jr. There we go. Great job this year, Spags. Keep betting on yourself. I appreciate that, Bree. I'm trying the best I can. But STL Bree, look, one of our newer guys. So I feel like seeing his growth as a draft this year because of him sending in screenshots, being a member of the channel to do that. Stuff like that is also nice to see. Like, it's not, this isn't it's not a real business right now, guys. I got to tell you that in terms of the money coming in. But it's still something that I do believe in and I enjoy. And, for anything you do in work, like having those two things is like sort of the goal, hopefully. We're on the clock here. Enough sucking myself off. Got LAR, Atlanta. Pacheco falling right now. I could get closer to the field on him. I'm not going to be making a lot of P. Ryan bets, so that wouldn't be crazy. Like Laporta, I'll go Pacheco. I'll go with Pacheco Hero. I know it's 0 RB Friday. This is my second to last draft, guys. One of these drafts is going to be 0 RB. I promise you. This one, though, we're going Pacheco, and we're going to reach for the second one. I should have maybe just stuck with it one more time. Got to tell you, I just wanted to get Pacheco close to 8%. That's really how my brain worked. But you know what we're doing here. This is where I'm just doing my last few drafts. Terry McLaurin, come on up. You deserve to be in the late 30s, Terry McLaurin. You're going to be here on this team. Pacheco, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin. Could have reached for Trey McBride. That might have been interesting as well instead of Pacheco, but I just wanted to get one more Pacheco share. I know. I'm an RB pig. I've betrayed myself and the show. Here we go. Play the GIF. I can't imagine not drafting Isaiah Pacheco after Samaje Perine comes in to take the role that's been promised to Pacheco all offseason. Oh, no. Snort. I am a piggy. That's a shame. That's a shame. That was like a little bit of a panic click, but it was really one where I was like, man, I really want to get to 8% Pacheco. And I saw the chance and I took it, and I apologize. I'll take my penance. I don't know what to tell you guys. My penance is getting my dick kicked in by Pete streaming with Neil Orfield. I really tried to find a window of time. Obviously been doing drafts every day, and I will continue this weekend, drafts every day at 11 a.m. But I was like, I tried to find the window where it's like, can I get my stream time without getting my dick kicked in by somebody else's stream? And I thought we had found it, and then it's like, nope, never mind. Neil Orfield also doing his 150th. But shout out to our guy Neil, who's on with Pete right now. And if you're joining here at some point from that stream, I appreciate you for it. It's a lot of competition in the world. We just got to deal with it. And at the end of the day, I'm still finishing my BBM entries no matter what. I'm throwing myself a parade here no matter what. There's going to be some noisemakers going at the end of this video. And a very fatigued reading of names for the last time in the offseason. My 150 should be after his 150 is done. That was the goal. Yeah, it was like, because I had to do both, and I figured still want to do a 2-hour stream block because I've gotten used to doing that on Fridays. And, I didn't see any, utility in just doing my 149th off stream. So It's basically where we are. I have been getting the shit out of my guys lately, though. I've been going up and getting Jaden left and right. Still looking like, at least before the stream, and I'll review my exposures at the end of the video as well. So we'll do the BBM recap of all the stuff I've done, where I wish I could have done differently and all that. It'll be how we close the video out today. And of course, drafters tomorrow, doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday, as we chase the EV on there. Last I looked, it was still under 60% fill. And drafters, let me put up the promo code for them as well right now, because I will be drafting there, and you can draft along with me. Of course, total points, pods don't matter quite as much, so it's a little bit easier to draft with your friends against your friends and not feel like you're killing your own EV. But drafters right now, let's do the math real fast. 113,261 divided by 186,672. 60% fill. I think there's an outside shot of it getting to 80, but if I had to guess, we're looking at the 75% we've been saying all along. If drafters gets to 75% filled, it's going to be about 400K they put into the tournament. So keep in mind, overlay is the best thing you can do for yourself in best ball, in DFS, in every sort of gambling format where you're getting overlay. Plus money bets, same concept there that we talk about a lot on my app, probably. But here at drafters, go check it out. $100 deposit match, promo code SPLASH. And just shout out to some of the people who deposited the last few days, because I do appreciate that, because it goes directly to support the show. And of course, you get your deposit match with it, so kind of a win-win. D-Pack deposited, can't say maybe, Gucci Baby, Arthur DR96, and we talked about King of QC, but shout out to the guys depositing, and also shout out to the guys taking Brock Bowers at 52. That's going to be one guy we like who we're not going to get today. Yikesies. I don't think, look, go get your guys. Get Brock Bowers at pick 76. Get him at 69 if you want. Maybe don't go to 52. That might be a little bit much. Underdog changed the auto pick setting. Kind of fucked up. I don't know that. Love your quote. Your quote, gambling is the most important, not important thing in my life. Thank you, Michael. It's true. And like even stuff like that, like overlay, like you want to take it very seriously, but also fundamentally, you should be playing for entertainment. Should be playing, like I play for the upside. Like I'm mostly playing for entertainment. I didn't, wasn't chasing EV this year as I might have been in previous years. And even that, I've never been a big EV chaser. What I'm chasing is like, I want to win BBM. I want to win the Drafters Million. I want to win the Week 1 NFL DFS Million on DraftKings. Like, that's what's fun to me. That's what the game is. And obviously, you're going to lose a lot along the way of trying to get those biggest prizes. But I do appreciate that. Look, I try to be honest about gambling here. Data, most important part always. Market probabilities, talk about with probably. That's what people who actually make money in betting use 10 times over. That and their own simulation models and stuff like that. But that's always the promise here. Of course, along with me remembering to make a pick sometimes. We got Kyle Pitts all the way back, which was kind of my hope. So Kyle Pitts will be one of my picks here. I won't leave him for Cap to snatch away from my hands. No Cardinals coming up that we're going to want to get. No Ram correlation either. AR goes, so we won't do an AR Jaden Daniels, which would have been fun to put on the docket for my last couple ones. Keenan Allen, I don't mind. Anybody I haven't got a lot of? JSN will be a little bit reachy to go to him now, but I wouldn't hate it. I feel like Keenan Allen's been one of my guys like all year. I'll go Keenan Allen. Got to support your guys one more time. Keenan's price tags come down. I guess $1 cost him down a little bit. That's good. Team so far 0-1-4-1 here in draft number 149 for me in BBM. Stream draft number 196. We got Isaiah Pacheco here as her RB, our Hero RB build. Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, and Kyle Pitts. That's the squad so far. Feeling good about it. Going to have to go up and get some guys here coming up, and we're going to do that. Our guy Bree here, great job this year. Keep chopping wood. Thank you for that. That guy, my promise here has always been that I'm just going to keep showing you guys the work. And this year too, assuming that Stochastic doesn't come through last minute and say, hey, we're going to do an early show on Sundays. My plan is to also add a Sunday show. So I think we're going to be doing 6 days a week because I'm an idiot. I don't know. I enjoy this enough. I enjoy the process of it. It's still a job ultimately for me, a very poorly paying job, but a job that I enjoy. But ultimately, like I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can to add value. And I'm going to miss doing that show if it's not a show that exists this year, or it's one that I'm not on, even if it does exist. And if it does exist without me, I'm going to crush them. I'm going to be on here at 9 a.m. on Sundays, kicking their fucking dicks in. That's the goal. That's the promise. Shout out to people still in the slow streets. My phone has been getting notifications all morning with the 1 hour clock. I am not a slow draft boy, and this is a time where I'm very glad to not be a slow draft boy. This year, I haven't even multi-tabled that much. The only times I multi-tabled were the fast clocks and the schnauzer when that was filling immediately. Besides that, I've been focusing one draft on a time. Obviously, I'm doing it on stream, so that does create a little bit of a layer of difficulty. But I think besides that, like I think focusing on one at a time for you this year has been beneficial. Also kind of makes me, it's more like, you're supposed to chew every food item you eat. You're supposed to chew really aggressively, even though a lot of people don't. You swallow like a duck a lot of times. But like you're supposed to chew everything. You're supposed to let it like really, soften up in your mouth. That's what it feels like doing one draft at a time, where it's like you get to really think about the players. I don't follow other people's teams too closely a lot, but that's one thing too. You have a little more optionality to do as opposed to when you're multi-tabling, hopping around, or and slow drafts, hitting 10 picks at a time. I don't know. It's not for me, but I could certainly see the appeal. As is true of many things in life. A lot of things in life are not for me, but I'm like, yeah, I get it. I can see why you would dig that. It's going to be a fun weekend here, guys. This weekend set of streams is going to get real loose because I'm going to get beers tonight. So we're going to be loaded up for Saturday and Sunday. I might power hour one of them. And the goal too. So 2 things are coming up this weekend. Doing 2 doubleheaders on Drafters again. Use that promo code SPLASH at drafters.com right now to get your deposit in. If you haven't yet, BBM is filled. Go chase some overlay for at least 10 entries and get one free would be my suggestion. But yeah, besides that, going to also be doing the pound stream on Saturday after my stream ends. I'm going to be doing a stream with Tyler on the Fantasy Sanctuary YouTube channel on Sunday, right after my stream ends. So going to be basically doing, 2 guys I like. Going to be doing 2 guys I like a lot in the pound and Tyler. Going to be hanging out with both of them one more time. And that's going to be how I cap my drafting. No stream for me on Monday. Probably not one for me on Tuesday either, but we'll see how froggy I'm feeling about prepping for week 1. But that's sort of how it's looking now. So schedule coming up. College football tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be competing against college football. So I always try to do. Me versus one of the most popular sports, especially the most popular sport on a Saturday. Fucking week 1 of the most popular sport. We're going to do great. Travis Hunter, though, so fucking overrated. Shadur Sanders, more overrated. But Travis Hunter, it's impressive what he does, playing cornerback, playing receiver. Still think, I don't know, some of those plays, like you're making contested catches against North Dakota State. I don't know what I'm supposed to be reading about. I don't think you're the greatest receiver ever, like Twitter was seemingly saying yesterday. One of these picks has got to be Jaden. We don't risk it here. This guy, if he wants to take another receiver, go ahead. I don't care. Jaden's got to be part of this team. I'm getting him above 30% down the home stretch. I'm tripping. I don't think so. Colorado is trash. Colorado gets exposed the moment they play anybody who's remotely decent. 1-1-4-1. Chicago Rams. Really not too matchy besides a little classic Washington, Atlanta. Still team Jordan Addison. Cortland Sutton, I have been trying to get up a little bit more. You know what? Again, I made that bet early on Denver. I'm going to do it. Cortland Sutton, come on down. I'm not going to get to 8% now. Like my exposures are where they are. Thought I had gotten to 7% on Sutton. Just do a refresh here to make sure. Oh, you know what? Shit, I might not have imported my exposures. Oh no, I might be making ill-informed decisions this entire time, missing the last few drafts I've done. Hold on. God forbid we can't do that. I can't do that to myself. Yeah, I loaded my exposures on my other computer and not this one. So I need accurate ones here. It's a slightly way, guys, as though it really fucking matters, and it doesn't. At this point, by the way, I would say if you're at home and you're doing your own like last couple drafts, I would just throw it out the window. I would just go like, if you don't have a guy and you're like, oh, I have 1% of them, let me get a little bit here. At this point, you're just fading them. Just fade them. That's how I feel about that. Guys like Mahomes, guys like Burrow won't have many shares, if any. Burrow, I know I don't have any. All right, here we go. Let's get my exposures right. So I know I grabbed Cortland Sutton's ass to get up a little bit higher. That's sounded worse than it should have. Make the screen a little bigger too. There we go. Now still at 6%. Is that fucking right? I'm gonna keep hard refreshing. Yeah, still at 6% Sutton. So I must have been a rounded up 6%, and now I'm a rounded down 6%. Because I saw him at 6% and was like, I gotta take Cortland Sutton here because I want to get to 8, but I'm not gonna get to 8. I'll get to maybe 7, I guess, which close to fuck enough. Team so far is a 1-1-5-1. And Shao Consigliere, I see your super chat. I'm just trying to make sure I have the accurate Cortland Sutton exposure. We got Jaden Daniels, Pacheco, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton. So yes, we are open up for another Week 14 bye with Bo Nix at QB. And then Kyle Pitts is our tight end right now. It's a solid team. Got to get more RBs in, but Pacheco's a hero. The Extremers got to down a beer every time they draft Jordan Addison this weekend. I've been drafting Jordan Addison a good amount. And shout out Consigliere. Appreciate the $1.50 super chat. Very specific. I appreciate that. YouTube's going to get 75 cents. I'll get 75 cents. And we can all play a couple hands of quarter poker. I'm on Sanders. Think his ability to extend the play can translate. He has, I don't know, man. He was really inefficient last year. I had his QB numbers up at one point, and he was like worlds behind everybody else in the class. I could probably look him up. Let's check out Cam Rising in my sheet. Shadur Sanders. Is it S-H-A or S-H-A? S-H-E, rather. That was not English. Shadur? Okay, there we go. Shadur on target more than Drake May. 71% on target rate there. Actually, 72%. So he'd be higher than Drake May and Caleb Williams. So on target's kind of a good thing you want to see. Shadur, besides that, under pressure, he was terrible. He gave away a point in EPA, negative 0.9 EPA per pressure drop back, 11% sack rate. You cannot get away with that in the pros. Everybody shits on Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels infinitely better here. 6% sack rate, negative 0.5 EPA on pressure plays. So Shadur really bad there. Downfield, 0.74 EPA, but only a 10%. 10% amount of the time that he's throwing downfield, 20 plus or more air yards. So not a high tendency there for him to get the ball downfield. And running 0.16 EPA per rush for comparison, Drake May is a 0.5. Jaden Daniels 0.67. Caleb Williams 0.32. I don't know. One more year, maybe he can improve, but I think he's really a name more than anything. He's a name that does stuff that we think is good analytically, but he's not good at them. He's pressured every play. His arm is like, man. I mean, I trust Adams' college football takes. That's something historically I think Adams had good insight into. But yeah, Shadur, I look at the numbers. I'm not that impressed. Again, the accuracy is a little bit better than I thought it would be, but still it's not like good by any stretch. All right, probably a good spot to take an RB. And Zach Robinson, another one of my favorite. Or Zach Robinson, Jesus Christ. Brian Robinson is on the clock. Zach Moss, another one of my favorites as well, who I would like to get another share of, but not over Brian Robinson. If he comes back, we'll go to Zach Moss as well. And Zach Robinson, I also love as the coordinator of the Falcons. Let's see what we get, though. Hunter, though, what's he going to do at the pros? I can look up his numbers, too, if we're really curious about it. Why not? Why not look forward to next year, right? And correlation-wise, I want to take here. Another share of Caleb wouldn't feel bad, but let's get Zach Moss in here. RB getting bled out a little bit more than it usually is in this range. So we got to get some guys in, given that we only have one RB through the first few rounds there. So we had Jaden Daniels, Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Moss, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, and then tight end, we have Kyle Pitts. So again, liking the build. We've already got our Washington Atlanta game stack pretty much done. We can add on hopefully one more, but we got to figure out who those guys are going to be if we do it out on one more game stack. Or Travis Hunter. Let's look up him too. Travis. Is he a junior? He might be a junior in their database. I think he's a junior. No, what is his name? Hold on. Oh, because he got hurt last year? Why is it? He's not in my receiver database. I guess I don't have Travis Hunter's numbers, unfortunately. I'd seen them before, so I'm confused. But I don't have them easily accessible, unfortunately. My Jaden exposure is not plus 50%. No, we're at just under 30%, which I said I was comfortable getting to 1/3 Jaden Daniels just based upon I think he's a better likelihood of hitting than any other player I've come across. So that's there. But really right now, I don't have anybody above 30%. He and Marshawn Lloyd are the closest, so we'll talk about my exposures at the end, but no, not 50% for anybody. Got hurt last year. I know he's a two-way guy. Yeah, I've heard people say the cornerback thing too, but then he makes some plays in a national game like that, and the wide receiver hype gets a little bit more. I don't know. McMillan's the one that I think is really good. I've already looked at his numbers a little bit. He grades out to me like a Marvin Harrison Jr. type. I forgot how to pronounce his name. Tetsuroa. I've never heard anybody say it out loud. Besides, I feel like in the USC game, and it definitely wiped out of my mind. And I guess I won't be hearing that as much anymore. But yeah, he's one that I would look forward to next year, who's like a legit guy. Hunter, to me, is just, I don't know. Colorado became a national like ratings powerhouse way faster than you would have thought. AR, I'm under 10% on it. Just couldn't get there. His ADP was too tough. Not wanting Michael Pittman a lot hurt it too. Not getting Neighbors a lot down the home stretch hurt it. Just couldn't get there. For Shador, definitely have him below the big QBs this year, but if a team puts capital in him, I won't fade. Yeah, look, Shador maybe could improve this year. That'd be the hope, but I really think you look at that game and it's North Dakota State, you're Colorado. You should be big dicking them. It shouldn't be going down to the wire with that team. I think that just shows the same thing we saw last year. Last year, they were a total paper tiger, got exposed immediately the second they played any real competition. This year, I expect the same thing. You can't be playing that close to North Dakota State. Jeremiah Smith will be better than any OSU wide receiver in the last 10 years. All right, there we go. Adam putting the takeout early. I won't have any numbers on him yet, but I'll be curious to see. Tet works. He's awesome. Yeah, I like the way he plays visually, too. I have watched a little bit of film in Tet because I've seen enough people talking about him. And I just want to see, too, like, my theory is that we're going to have a lot more classes like this at wide receiver where even guys that maybe weren't great in in college, hopefully we're great in high school, but guys that weren't great in college would have, like, freak athletics because I think to me, athletic testing is getting to be more like the SAT, where guys can prep for it enough, know how to beat those drills, and be good. And that would explain to me why so many guys like tested better. Even the guys who were dog shit for the most part tested better than they had in previous years. So that's something where I'd be watching out for that. But the college performance is really, against legit competition, always be a main thing. I think Jaden Danielle is stupid pick. Who would... Thank you, Jeff. For a second, I'm like, is this another college football player? But you never know with those names. Bo Nix at 124? You fuck? You fucking fuck? Oh. Had to give him one more, huh? I had to give the people one more tilt down the home stretch. Fucking thought I could take Bo Nix at a reasonable ADP is like one of the bets that I was earliest on in the world. Was taking the shit out of Bo Nix in April and May BBMs. And now I'm not getting to reap the benefits of Bo Nix blossoming into a beautiful young boy right before our eyes. A fertile young lad is what we call Bo Nix now. Now he's a starter. He shouldn't be going to 124. He's really talented, but the offense is still probably going to be a little bit regressive. What an unbelievable one. I'm going to get this draft thrown out. Somebody in one room I was in during this home stretch of filling some drafts off stream, just trying to make sure I hit my numbers I wanted to hit on stream. There's somebody who took Jordan Mason at like 70 in a room. And I'd seen him go in 30s based on some screenshots on Twitter. But I was like 70 in my room? What the fuck? What is going on here? A little lad Bo Nix like berries and cream, sure. Dalton Schultz goes. That's another one of my faves. He won't be coming back. Ty Chandler, another fave. Darnell Mooney, fine. Getting more Eckler. I think Eckler, Brian Robinson lineups together is something I'm a little bit light on. Something I'm not light on, Zeke, as you can see with that exposure. I'm going to go Eckler. I think that Washington's one where both backs can hit. Still like Brian Robinson more, but I haven't played this bet a lot this year, and today's the day I'm going to play that bet. Got Bindles here. Let's go, Spags. I appreciate that. I knew what I was going to say. So the stream on Wednesday where I was like planning to have more people on. We had a few of our regulars on there. Appreciate seeing them. Sunday, what I'm planning to do when I hit my 200 stream on Drafters, I'm going to open the StreamYard room. So I'm going to pick and choose some people to come on, basically. But if you want to get on camera Sunday, before I do that stream with Tyler, I'm going to try to plan on doing that. I'll see how much of a clusterfuck it is, but I'll throw it out there. So if you guys want to try to get on stream, that'll be on Sunday. Another receiver here would be okay. We now got to think about not taking Bo Nix. I like the Brandon Cooks fall, even though this doesn't correlate. So I'm going to do that. I feel like I got enough Atlanta receiver firepower for now with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Don't need to increase that bet with Darnell Mooney in this particular team. We got our sixth receiver here, 4 RBs and a Hero RB build with Isaiah Pacheco. We have Jaden Daniels at our QB right now, so got to think about a non-Bo Nix QB, which is fine. What? I did not miss 2 consecutive picks. Why did it do that to me? We got Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Moss, Austin Eckler. We got Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Cooks, Kyle Pitts at tight end. That's the team here. So feeling okay about it. Not as matchy as I'd like to get for my final two teams. I think we're balancing it pretty well. This is what you're saying. Interesting. There we go. Was probably say, I don't know, you got to get a membership, Adam. I can pay for it. Our data's still on, so pay for it. Probably back to it, probably content next week too as well, guys. We're going to do some NFL stuff as long as we have our data going. Still figuring out what we're doing in terms of financing stuff, but that is not, unfortunately, able to resolve as fast as I would like because God forbid anything ever worked quickly, right? When I have to reply to shit, it's got to be immediate. When other people reply to shit, it's like, let's take a week and sit on this one. See how it goes. Okay, Robert Griff the Turd with a great cameo on the betting show. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I'm hoping to recreate. They actually, the guys, I did like a post-show, post-mortem kind of thing with the company prediction that I did with that stream with. And, talk about the tech issues and how that was kind of frustrating for me as a creator, as well as them. Like, basically had to put together the YouTube event on the fly because they didn't have a way to do that in advance. So a lot of stuff that just wasn't perfect. Was kind of talking to them about that part. But the one thing they were like was like, oh, it was really cool to see you like talking to some of your, your followers on there because like, people you hadn't met, like the one guy they pointed out. So they were talking about our guy, Robert Griffin the Turd. Because I was like, I was excited to see him. I haven't seen our guy, Robert Griffin the Turd on video before in person. Obviously, a lot of guys who are regulars in the community we've had on stream before. But he's one I hadn't. So it was a cool moment to have that. And they noticed, I guess, my genuine enthusiasm amidst the relative clusterfuckery going on around me. But our guy, Robert Griffin the Turd, is in fact in the old basement. Playing Black Ops 6, that's not my game. I'm either college football or Overwatch at this point. If your picks time out, it goes on auto. Okay, that's good to know then. Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying before, but now I guess I've seen it firsthand. And Kyler probably is playing with the Black Ops beta. Watch his production go down over the next week of him not playing in a game. Guys, if you're watching the stream here, again, I understand we got some competition going on, but your support goes a long way. Subscribe down below, hit that like button, leave a comment. Again, Splash Play, it's not just a best ball show. It goes on in the NFL DFS season. My goal here is just to be the person that knows the most ball, or at least tries my best to get it right on stream for best ball, for NFL DFS. And NFL DFS is where I made my bread and butter initially. In fact, some of the stuff I've done on stream, I've actually won over 20K in a showdown with content I did on stream here for one of the showdowns. Browns Bengals. You always remember the ones that you have a good hit on. But that's coming up here in season, so check that out. And again, promo code SPLASH on Underdog gets you $1,000 of bonus cash. They're keeping that going for right now. And they actually have a promo going. I think Pete was promoting that they're doing the Fill Up Friday thing where you get a 10% deposit bonus, but that's not going yet. They said it's delayed on their marketing email. Instead, they're doing the Travis Kelce pick'em again. So Travis Kelce, free pick'em over 0.5 total yards for him is the pick'em they have if you want to build an NFL Week 1 pick'em. It's going to go till kickoff, but if you want to take that one today, and at some point, they're going to have the ability for you to get a 10% deposit match if you want to put in more money, but that's not going yet. All right. Justin Herbert goes to 151. Don't know that he was a real option for us as QB2, but he goes all the same. RB getting pretty bled out. Including Bucky Irving at 152. Happy to see him go up in ADP. Not happy to not have him as part of my team. It has it showing. Okay, on the marketing thing, it says it's delayed in terms of promotion. So I don't know. But there you go. That's available too. All right, 1461 here. Cousins is just not the bet for us because we have Jaden. I think let's get Stafford. We'll get QB2 out of the way. Set up tight end 2 as well. So a Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels team combo, I feel like I've ended up with less of, but still a good amount because I'm not always getting Kyler in my Arizona Rams build. So we got Jaden, Stafford, and see what these guys give us. All right, Adam with the AI quote of the day. When you talk, you're only repeating what you already know. Okay. I don't think that's true. You could also be talking about things and like hypothesizing. I don't think that's necessarily accurate. We got a 2461 here. Let's increase our Chicago bet a little bit. One more RB, Khalil Herbert. RB again, pretty bled out here. I could push for like an estimate later, but I don't love estimate as an RB5 generally. I feel like he's purely a 6 for me. So it's a 2-5-6-1 build right now. Have to add on at least one more tight end, maybe two. We got Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford as our QBs, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Moss, Austin Eckler, and Khalil Herbert. At receiver, we have Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, and Brandon Cooks. The tight end, Kyle Pitts. There we go. 4 rounds left. Feel like the team's got a pretty good baseline to work off of. Not to get political, but this man never heard a pathological liar talk. Are we talking about Adam with the chat there? Sad to zip the bags on Bucky. Look, Bucky is one of my biggest stands of the year. I'm happy about it. I'll show you guys, of course, all my exposures at the end of the video, but Bucky's right up there. Marshawn Lloyd right up there. Jaden. Still Terry McLaurin by a wide margin. Luke McCaffrey ended up stuck there. Troy Franklin did come down enough. He's not on my top screen anymore. But I think I'll have about 10% of him, which I can live with. A little more than you want for a guy going undrafted at the end, but I think it's a good ceremonial bet for a guy that I believed in a lot throughout the entire draft process. I talk about cum. I know cum. My day is ruined by the nihilistic AI. I love the nihilistic AI quotes. This is one of my favorite bits that Adam brings to chat every day. All the Adams adding value in different ways. But anytime you develop a bit that stands out for me, that's not like one that's like more on the annoying side, like the guys just come in and troll, who we've had enough of over the years. But I do think like when you have a bit, it's like it's a harmless one. It's one that like every day I'm like scratching my head about. He got me. Adam has found his audience with the fucking AI generated quote of the day. Hunter Henry, guy you probably have some bad CLV on. My worst CLV plays this year, I would think, are Marshawn Lloyd for sure, Troy Franklin for sure, Luke McCaffrey by a little bit. I was going through it a lot in the Best Ball Explorer tool, which I will go through on the end with you guys as well. Let's see if it actually... Oh, yeah, everything's all right. Everything's populated on Best Ball Explorer. Cover that at the end of the video. I also, fun fact was that I got like a comically low amount of number 8 picks, I believe is what it was. What was it? Rash positions. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Your number 8 picks, I have half the number of number 8 picks as I do 10, 11, 12, and 6. I've also got the most 4s and 5s. I got 17 4s and 5s. Again, I'm going to show you guys this is the end, so like pretend to be surprised when we go through my exposures. Go, whoa, that's a lot of 4s and 5s. But like really, the RNG this year did not do me favors. Randomly just came across the Twitter questions about Shedeur, and somebody called him Tyrod Taylor with a Rolex. That is pretty good. That's a good one. I don't hate that. Troy Franklin got a good word from Sean Payton in a recent interview. Keep hope alive. Yeah, Jeep/keep. Jeep hope alive too. Yeah, like I think for Troy Franklin, he's not dead, but it's a tough pick to take right now. Like right now, any bets that you're making that are like, this has to happen for this guy to get in the field. That's why I hate some of the RB plays that a lot of people's favorites, because the fact that you're just like, bad things have to happen to other guys for that guy to get there. It's not usually where I want to be. So Greg Dortch didn't come back, which kind of sucks. Maybe should have reached for him over Herbert. So we're not going to have that Arizona correlation for our Rams game stack. At this point, I guess, who really cares? I guess would be the alternative. But nonetheless, does hurt a little bit. Noah Fant here when we need one more tight end feels pretty good. I don't feel the need to make it up on Cade Otton. Got enough Juwan Johnson when he was much cheaper. Noah Fant for one tight end here. I think we'll probably add on a third. We'll see. I feel like I'm in kind of luxury mode. For a Hero RB build, got my 5 receivers early enough. Yeah, I don't know. Luxury at the end down the home stretch here before we get to number 150. Number 150 is where it's all going to fall apart for me, I'm sure. All right, Vidal goes 181. Yeah, nothing Cardinals related we want now. I do want to get a little more Noah Brown. Could honestly talk me to taking Noah Brown and Diami Brown. Noah Brown had some interviews with Washington beat reporters and very confident in his ability in a way where I was like, ooh, Noah Brown. Noah Brown just knows that he can come in and do some stuff, which I'm excited by. So I'm going to go Noah Brown here. Sam Darnold, QB3, maybe an option, but I feel okay enough with Jaden and Stafford. Let's give the team a read. So right now we got a 2-5-7-2 in my second to last BBM here. Last one coming up in a moment. We got Jaden Daniels and Matthew Stafford. At RB, we have Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Moss, Austin Eckler, and Khalil Herbert. At receiver, we have Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Cooks, and Noah Brown. The tight end, Kyle Pitts and Noah Fant. So thinking one more tight end, thinking optionality for what I do with that other pick. That's where we are right now. Shout out guy Chunk, absolute blast this year. Absolute pleasure being a part of the community. Can't wait to victory lap one of these streams being for a Cowboys playoff run. I hope so. I hope Chunk does well this year. Chunk, I know, grinding a lot of different tournaments out there to get his gladiator bonuses, and pleasure having him on stream this year too. Shout out to the guys who got on stream before I ditched that program when the reviews stopped coming in at the same rate, which is on me. I apologize, but it's just sometimes you got to realize you're not getting the result and you got to go, fuck it. And you know, that's how that goes. But Chunk did a great job in the stream. If you want to go back and watch that one, I have no idea how you'd find it. You guys search Splash Play Chunk, you'd find that stream. I think I put it in the description. Pretty sure. There's a playlist now, or there will be by the end of this weekend. A playlist with 200 drafts that you can just go through. Timeless as ever. Evergreen, I'll say. And the hope is going to be that we pink from one of the stream drafts. How likely that is, I don't know. Had some really soft rooms on stream this year because of me fucking with the times a little bit, doing it where it wasn't just all friends and family drafts. So I think I built, you know, like you can debate how my player takes and my structure and whatever. I think I built some of the best teams on stream this year just because of the fact that I wasn't like running to go get a bunch of regulars in the room. So that's my hope, is that we built probably the best stream teams this year that were possible. Noah Brown is talking dirty to me. He's sexy, confident man. Big old braids too. Love that. When do the gladiator bonuses pay out? I have no clue. You're asking the wrong. I honestly forget. I feel like it was pretty fast last year because they want you to throw it in battle royales. So I would assume week 1, but I can't tell you for a fact. I got Chunk jumping into Hound Dog at 11:35. Oh, I guess that's in 1 minute here. Ryan Flournoy. That's still not a play. The point of like moving around late is to take guys that have become plays throughout the course of the process, not just to take random dudes you heard about once or twice. Flournoy not a play. Jalen Brooks more of a play than Flournoy by like a good margin, I think. And we got 2 picks coming up here. Let's see what we can get. Second to last BBM draft. LMC comes back, potentially. Parkinson, I feel like makes the most sense for this team right now. All right, we got Parkinson. Let's do that. Tight end 3, Parkinson. And if we get LMC back, I'll take him ceremonially one more time. Nope, we don't get LMC back. All right, Luke McCaffrey goes. What do we do with this last pick? Atlanta, Seattle, Washington, Dallas, Jordan Whittington. Who's just the guy I want to tack on one more time? One more time for the road. Ray McLeod, one more time for the road. You're a lot cheaper than Darnell Mooney, and maybe somehow you beat out Darnell Mooney in production. Final team here, a 2-5-8-3 before we get to number 150. We got Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford as QB. RB, we have Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Moss, Austin Eckler, Khalil Herbert. At receiver, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Cooks, Noah Brown, Ray McLeod. Losing Bo Nix really threw me off what I was trying to set up for my end game. Kyle Pitts, Noah Fant, Colby Parkinson, 3 tight ends. We're good to go. And yeah, guys, I snuck in one more here. I'm not giving you a friends and family one to close it out. I'm keeping my sweet, sweet EV until I die, even though I'm drafting next to the 2 red badges. That sucks. When you have the no badges over here, value doesn't always come all the way back. This is draft 150. Let's put it on the banner. The end of my BBM journey, though not the end of my stream journey, because we have 4 more drafters drafts coming up this weekend. And I'm going to be, if you thought last week was unhinged, I'm going hard. I think going to be power houring for one of these days, at least, maybe multiples. I don't know. But we're going to have some, oh, well, here. Hey, guys, here I am. Click the wrong button. Feels good, though. Depleting your underdog bankroll, maxing out BBM. Got enough to play some battle royales in week 1. We're good. One last hope. Yeah, it's unfucking believable that I got another 11. like, I'm so fucked. I love Tyreek Hill. I couldn't get this fucker at all this year. I got 6% Tyreek. It's going to be down to 5% now with these last two drafts. McCaffrey too. I'm low on him and I was willing to fucking take him. I'm with the field technically, but going to be a little bit lower by the time we close out. Puka HJ for 150 would be fun, but unfucking believable. Happy sesquicentennial. Is that what that would be? Wow, that's awful. That's a tough, that's a mouthful. Oh, man. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe I'm in the 11 again. I have been fucking strangled by the 11 hole on stream. I feel like all my other teams that are in different spots are all off stream. I'm just Mr. 11 on stream. But you know why that is? Because like they say the 101 is the most influential spot. You double that up, you get 11. That's how math works. 2 1s. That's me. It's like a trade. We're getting 2 first rounders for me every day. Picking in the 11 hole. All right. Shady advice. What's he going to do? A shady looking character. Who's he working with? Legendary Upside, I feel like is what he's doing. I don't know. I can keep track of everybody in the world. All right. One more run at the old girl, guys. Let's do it. Puka Nacua. Actually, no, let's flip it the other way. Right? Maybe this guy will go up. Puka Nacua's knee. But he might just be a guy that has too much Marvin Harrison and will pass him up. All right, fine. Fuck it. Puka one more time. Let's go. Come on, J-Pet. You don't fucking need this. You don't like the Cardinals. It's hot there. You don't even know what color are the Cardinals. You don't know. You probably think they play baseball, which they do. Walk him down. Waddle. Yes, go get Waddle. Go get Nico. Go crazy. Have a good time. We did it, gang. One more. We walked somebody down. Puka MHJ one last time on stream in number 150. Neil Orfield could never. He's too old. He doesn't know. He's like Marvin Harrison. I remember his father. Did he unretire? This Marvin Harrison? I can't draft this guy. That's my Neil Orfield. It doesn't sound like Neil at all. That's just a generic older guy. Let's fucking go. This really does. It does feel thematically strong. Is this going to be the team? Is this going to be the fucking nuts team I draft number 150? Because you know we're reaching for Jaden McLaurin again. You know that's happening. Don't tell J-Pat and Shady advice. Neil Tage. I got no respect doing 150 drafts. My wife. You take my wife, please, on 150 drafts. That's Neil. That's Neil doing Rodney Dangerfield. Neil also, like, such a not classic best ball streamer move to take 3 weeks of vacation or whatever during the home stretch of Vessel. Just funny guy. Love our guy, Neil. Did the one stream with him earlier this summer. We didn't cross over again because we felt like we both just had the exact same audience, basically. But I would like to hang out with Neil more. Funny guy. A lot of stuff coming up in the fall. Don't tell him. No respect. You got to pull your tie and shit. You got to do that whole thing. As an old guy, you're a fan. I'm sorry, Ivan. Ivan, you're my favorite old guy. Though I imagine you, Ivan, is like an older, like Russian guy. He's like got some mystery. Maybe kill the man at some point. That's how I'd like to imagine you, Ivan. Don't tell me otherwise. I'm one of our longest supporters, and I've had this, just him smoking cigs in a vodka bar. That's how I want to imagine Ivan Black. Like, Black's not even a real name. It's like his covert ops name. Ivan Skozinski. There you go. Can't say. Go KGB, Ivan. Sorry, Ivan. That's racist to call. To imply that a guy named Ivan has to be in the KGB. Time for V at lunch. Much love and congrats, Spags. Thank you, Tyler. I'll be seeing Tyler on Sunday. And again, if you're just joining the stream here, Sunday, my last draft here. So you can see right now, this is draft number 197. I think I updated the banner, right? It's draft number 197 stream for me on the year. So tomorrow, going to hit 198 and 199. Sunday, 200 and 201. Going to be hit on drafters. Going to be, again, a meaningless goal here. It's not as marketable, apparently, as maxing out 150 on stream. It's what I learned today. But it was something that I set a goal of streaming 200 drafts this year. And barring me dying in the next 48 hours, which, hey, knock on wood. I don't have any wood in here anymore. But knock on wood. Was a goal I set for myself. And look, I think sometimes it's important to say you set a goal for yourself. You did it. Some fun stats this year, too, just because you guys might care about this. Find it interesting. We had 200,000 views so far this year, 60K hours of watch time. I'm not going to tell you how many subscribers you gained because it's not fucking enough. That's a lot. And that's all cumulative for me just doing it every day. You guys showing up and hanging out. So, one what does it matter in the grand scheme of life? We're all just flex in a universe that keeps on moving. The second that our time ends, am I an AI quote of the day? But that's, but really, you set your goals, you try to accomplish it, and you do it, and you got to feel proud about it as much as you can. Shout out guy Tyler here for the super chat. You and the splash play have been a one of one. Sharpened my iron since February. Much love and such support. I think since January, actually, Tyler, because we were doing rookie previews. But I I appreciate it. Our guy Tyler is going to lunch. And check out Fantasy Sanctuary this weekend as well, where I'll be on with Tyler at 1 p.m. on Sunday. But yeah, Draft 201, going to open the StreamYard room, have some guys in. So whoever wants to be camera ready on Sunday afternoon, if you are around on Labor Day weekend, ideally, regulars, not just fucking random YouTube weirdos, people who have been regulars in the community who know the show. Sunday open room will be coming up for my Draft 201. There we go. Thank you, FF Doom. FF Doom, one of our older regulars, I feel like, comes in and out, but appreciate hearing that. Never stop grinding, Spags. I'll do the best I can, my friend. That's all we can do. D. Owens, thank you for all the lessons. I've learned a ton. D. Owens, again, one of the guys taking a lot of lessons from me over the best ball team building stuff, and I very much have seen his growth, so I appreciate that. So, it all blurs together at this point, but yeah, the fucking big board opened in January this year, and I'm sure it's going to be the same thing next year, so basically the moment the regular season ended last year, I started doing my rookie previews, and it was fun. That's the process you got to bring, I think, to know this sport as well as you can. Hopefully to know it better than other people. I think that's my hope and goal. And a great year. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you to all the regulars. I appreciate it. And again, today feels like a little bit of a graduation ceremony when you're leaving middle school or high school or something. I guess maybe less so college. College, I'd be more drunk, maybe or hungover, one of the two. But that's really, one of these things. I appreciate all you guys being here. The kind words do mean a lot. You're my little scrapbook that I get to keep at the end of the year. Shout out Benny here. Thank you, Spags. Never stop, never stopping. Thank you. If you can quote some Andy Samberg as a motivational, I'll take it. Diggs doesn't come back. I would have been okay with that one. J-Pet's been getting reachy. And he's not going to get reachy for Mr. Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, you are part of this roster. You can't get away from me, Terry. Come back in. Terry tries to leave, and I go, no, come back, man. Come on. We're having fun. Terry McLaurin, come on down. I'm going to drive his ADP up for the last 2% of BBM drafters. I don't give a shit, man. Give me 30% Terry. Give me 33% Jaden. These are my bets. These are my boys. Especially all the different streams, too, where it's like, I think Davis is doing his 150 later. Neil's doing his. Pete's doing his. I feel like somebody did one yesterday. I might have missed. I don't know. That Crack Rock stream that the chip chasing guys did yesterday also is a fun one that goes incredibly long. Crack Rock is quite the character. Also, somebody probably should invest in, but that's neither here nor there. He should get all of his rich people to come together and help make a wish for me. We're gonna go up and get Trey McBride here. We're going for the whole hog. We're hogging. We're going it. We're going Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, Trey McBride. ADP is out the fucking window because this is draft 150. Look at the thumbnail. Now this is accurate. Draft 150 here. Fantasy Flock. He's always got to have something that fucking goes right against everything I believe in. Can't wait to fucking rub that one in his face. Like drafting Trey Lance last year. Shady advice is sharp, said Bowers is younger. Taysom Hill with higher floor. That was sacrilegious, I think. That was not shady advice. But that was on the Pete video. Which is a good one, too. I've been watching a lot of Pete videos lately because I've been getting on my YouTube algorithm. I'm like, yeah, I miss seeing Pete on the regular. Yeah. Oh, that's racist. That's racist against dorky white men. Shady advice has more of like an angry IT guy vibe to him, where sacrilegious has like a friendly professor vibe. So I think there's a difference between them. But they are both sharp. I agree with that. They're both sharp. Spags DM crack of the DK Discord, get you some of the Estee Lauder money. Yeah, fucking crazy. Yeah, if you missed that stream, there's a lot of fun stuff that Crack Rock and Pete and Gretchen and Pat talked about on that one. One of the things is that like apparently Crack Rock's sister is married to like somebody's got the Estee Lauder inheritance and they own Rush Limbaugh's old $155 million house in Florida, but they're tearing it down because they have enough money to tear down the house. And apparently the land is what's really worth $150 million. Fucking batshit episode. Really was a lot. But Crack Rock, an interesting guy. Really enjoyed watching that stream yesterday. Spags, thanks for always being entertaining. Love watching your draft season. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew, one of our early regulars as well. Appreciate him being here. Really do. Really do appreciate that we have a community here of people. And the nice thing to me too is like, you know, after being on stream with Pete so often, like it's not just all Pete's audience that you guys, obviously a lot of you guys have met you there and you followed me along here. But besides that, we've built our own little community that's not exactly the same as Pete's one, and, you know, not the same as the chip chasing one. Definitely not the same as like Liam's and those guys and Davis's. So I'm very happy to have you guys here and for you guys to trust me with what you're doing in fantasy football, because like I work hard at this. I mean, you see it here every day. I showing up is sometimes the hardest part for anything, but best ability is availability. Another one of those cliche AI kind of quotes. Craig's out of his mind. LOL, the best. He is indeed. Drunk Draft with you and Pete was the best stream of the year. Thank you for that. I'll take it. We had a lot of fun on that one. Learned a lot this year. Which one is this, a duder? I don't know what we're talking about. Week 17, let's go. Just maxed out the Flock Community 9 tourney. He filled some fucking tourneys. Got to give that guy credit. He may not know shit about ball, but goddamn, can that guy get some redraft players going into best ball? Unbelievable. Schedule for the regular season going to be, again, Monday and Thursday showdown stuff. So going to be doing the same thing, though. Not doing it too early. Our guy, Al Zeidenfeld, who I do love as a guy, like really kind for him to do Splash Play once. He's been kind to me since then a few times, so I appreciate him. But he's stepping away from the biz. I'm still not going to do the showdowns early. I'm going to do them roughly the same time I do streams. I'm thinking about moving the 11 o'clock time. I want to look at the YouTube numbers a little bit, think about my schedule too. There's also a possibility I might be getting something else that I'm doing this year that would interfere with 11 o'clock. But basically, you'll be doing showdowns Monday and Thursday. Friday, a full slate preview. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm still figuring out what I want to do. Probably not going to have it in place for this week, no matter what it is. Probably Spags rankings, I think, coming back one of those days. And then, I don't know. Tuesday, like a recap thing feels stupid on Tuesday. Figure it out. Yeah, and then Sundays. Maybe I'll skip Tuesdays and move to Sundays and just still keep it at 5 days a week. Because I don't know what there is to talk about on Tuesdays, really. I feel like Tuesdays were the one I struggled with the most last year in terms of like what to do. It kind of became like a recap show. But I don't have all my data yet to like really recap things in a way that feel good. So that'll be flexible. You're definitely getting at least, the game content I put out last year. Showdowns, full slates. Yeah, that would be nice. No, not so much. It would be a cool one, but it would not be that. All right. 0031. And again, as always, I expect nothing good to come my way unless I make it myself and it somehow works. We got, at this point, again, guys we want to get as part of this squad. We're just going nuts here. Bully tight ending it, which I have liked a little bit more lately. A bully tight end, come on down. Then we got to think about what we want to do for a third here. Really no good commonalities / crossover points coming up. But we can get week 16 versus Arizona, right? Or do I have to go get Kyler? I think I have to get Kyler now. If I push Kyler all the way back around, it's possible because nobody over here, but there's no badges over here. They're definitely going to take Kyler. All right. I think we got to take Kyler with this next pick. Would like to get the week 16 Deontay Johnson. Give me one more good receiver. Because if I don't do Kyler now, I have to take Stafford as part of this build. All right, fuck me. Let's see. Let's fucking see what we can do. Kyler Murray, come on down. We're going for the Kyler Jaden duo here is the goal. Blow him out of QB, blow him out of tight end, and use our savvy to catch up at RB and receiver is the goal. Let's give the team a read, though. It's 1-0-3-2 through 6 rounds, so throwing some stuff out the window for right now. We got Kyler Murray as our QB, Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin is the wide receiver. So we hit receiver early. We walked away to get some Trey McBride and Kyle Pitts. We got some deviations here, but these are my guys. If we were doing a my guy draft, this is my guys. Granted, I've been the 11 hole a lot, so I've developed a lot of guys at the 11 hole. These are my guys. Having Houston on this would be the only way to make it like more my guys. Like getting Nico in, Nico Diggs, Tank. But there's only so many rounds. You only get so many picks in the early rounds. That'll be there to save me. God, I hope not. I hope not. We still invest in the channel, Spags. Like, let you give the 80-20 Suge Knight deal. Oh, great. It was investing in probably. I haven't. So we've been talking to larger companies about trying to get a full check for that. I don't know if you want to give me money, you can. I know there is investment in Splash Play. Like at this point, I'm hoping that I get some better deals next year, and then maybe I can bring some people on and try to make the channel grow in that way next year. But that's going to come down to what old Underdog sees the value for Spags. But that's my long-term kind of thoughts. And this is my guys. This is me, guys. Oh, this is me, guys. I love them all. But gosh, Magora. That's me insulting the Irish people out there. You guys also could do Italian accents left and right. I got to do one shitty leprechaun. Like 50% of my drafts from the 10 spot. You can find that out for a fact with the Best Ball Explorer tool. You can confirm. That's why I felt like all my drafts were 10, 11, 12. And granted, a lot of them have been on stream. But it turned out they are very plentiful, but they're not actually my most common spots. So interesting. It feels like you do develop sometimes, and I would say for myself as well, you definitely develop some biases where it's like, I'm fucking always in the 12 hole. And it's like, oh, you're actually sometimes in the 10, sometimes in the 11. It just feels like you're always in the 12, that kind of thing. BBM 150, the Irish goodbye stream. Yeah, where I just do an Irish accent to say goodbye. A really bad one at that. Lad 101 next year, man. Hopefully, what is it, in 5-point PPR? 5-point PPR and better athlete than football player PPR. Sorry, had to get one more in. It's number 150. You got to get them all out. What else? What else do I have to do? I have to blow the noisemakers one more time. I think we know that. I think we also know I probably don't trust the 12 hole to not fuck up Jaden Daniels. So we're going to take Jaden Daniels and pick 83 here. Oh no, Lad McConkey went. Ah, damn it. Darn. Can't believe I can't get Lad on the team. Yeah. Oh God, another 11 hole. Story of my life. Trapped in the 11 hole. What if the 11 hole is what you needed to win it all? Oh man, JMO is one of my guys. Oh, this gotta be such a fool to take Jaden, right? He'd be a fool to take Jaden. He would not be a fool to take JMO. We're gonna take JMO. Please don't take Jaden. We walked this guy down once. Dude, you've been a pal before. You want to do some weird shit. I know you want to do some weird shit from the 12 hole. Just go and get Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. Let's call it a day here. Don't take Jaden. You don't need Jaden. I need Jaden. I don't have enough Jaden. I've only got 30% Jaden. That's not 33. I had goals. Come on, J-Pet. Come on, J-Pet. There we go. There's one pick down. Take Najee. Take Jalen Warren too. Have some fun with it. Don't take Jaden Daniels. Don't do this to me on 150. Don't do this to me on 150, J-Pet. Oh, he's really soaking up the clock. He's like, can I do a Jaden Daniels backdoor stack? Can I take Noah Brown? And the answer is no, you can't, J-Pet. Don't do it. Don't do it, J-Pet. Oh, what is this? Too much time. All right. We did it. No RBs. This is a fucking zero RB team if you've ever seen one. No RBs. 2042. Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels, Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, J-Mo, Trey McBride, Kyle Pitts. These are my boys. I am bringing them in. I am embracing them. It's like a step by step, the old TGIF show. I have a whole family of boys, and they are these football players. There we go. I think it's a celebrate good times. Come on. We push Jaden Daniels. There's a party going on right here. Draft number 150, and we're getting all these boys. Gonna bring them in. They're gonna score a lot of points. And fuck the RBs all along the way to celebration. Oh, yeah. Celebrate good times. Come on. All right. There we go. Shocked it worked out. J-Mo's one of my best friends and nephew. He's a really good kid in real life. Going to shake up the NFL this year. I fucking hope so, Bree. I'm rooting for him. That's my man's right there. The props are out. I think that was all. I got one more blower here. I have 3 blowers in total. Can I blow them all at once? Oh, that was probably an awful noise. I'm sorry. Oh, there's actually one more too. Oh, can I blow all 4? That's what she said. All right, here we go. 4 at once. Oh, wow. Woo! No, no. Log out. Team's already set. We don't even need the RBs. Just let it auto. It sounded great. I hope so. I hope so. I'm sure everybody, when they're listening to content, just doing their work, enjoying their jobs, they love when there's random loud blowing noises that come in. Both the ones that would go like, ooh, ooh, both those ones and the ones that I just gave you. You all knew I could handle 4. Look at these. With these mitts, look at these. These football grabbing mitts. Throw the football one more time. Oh! All hands there. Me and Troy Franklin. Oh, good. The good news is you're nobody and you can leave. It wins. Here we go. It's always nice to get rid of somebody to know that they'll never add value. And D'Alessandro TV, see you later, bud. Go back to watching. What do you think you're going to do? You're going to ruin my vibes on draft 150? How sad is your life? Please. I don't say this often, guys, but some people should just, that's one of them. Out of town. Build a fucking sick team. What? Oh, did I not draft enough RBs early? Gee, sorry, dickwad. Oh, man. Kill my vibes. I'm blowing noisemakers. How dare he? Go watch Neil Orfield. He'll build some boomer teams for you. Get out of town. I agree. Some people should just leave. I make it easy for them. The thing is, though, they keep lurking and then they hit the dislike button on every video while still probably watching the video. It's unbelievable. But I'm the only content creator in the biz that I'm like the bouncer. If I don't want you in the squad, just fucking go. I don't care. I'll find somebody else. There's enough people out there that browse the internet. Get out of town. It's true, ruining the vibes. Neil catches some strays. He loves an early RB. We know that. But I love Neil. I've given enough I love Neil kind of quotes already. Now I need to give some fuck Neil quotes. All right. Shady advice. What's his shady advice at this time? Oh, it's take Jonathan Brooks. Basically right there. All right. I thought I'd get Jonathan Brooks back around. But nope. I'll get another one of my guys. All the boys are coming to the party. Ryan Robinson joined the squad. This team may look a little similar to the last one, though with Kyler instead. This is a cleaner version of it, I think. That's true. I am saying go watch Neil if you want to see some RBs go. I'm not the one. I'll draft a hero RB sometimes. Look, I drafted one just before, but it's 0 RB Friday. It's my last draft. It's 150. If you thought I wasn't going 0 RB here, and not only going 0 RB, but going 0 RB in a way that's just disrespectful to RBs, that's what I had to do here. I had no choice. They gave me no choice. C142. J-Pet, thinking about it again. I don't have to walk you down this time, J-Pet, so pick whoever the fuck you want. You got nothing that could damage me now, J-Pet. So you've been very helpful in your spot. All right, Jordan Love falling precipitously. If we wanted to take a third QB, that'd be a fun one. Tajay, Singletary, both guys I like a good amount. Tajay, I have less of. I'll just even this out. He's one of my guys in as much as anybody at the spot would be one of my guys, but he'll be added to this my guys team. So it's a 2-2-4-2. We got Kyler Murray and Jaden. At RB, we have Brian Robinson Jr. and Tajay. At wide receiver, Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, Jamison Williams. And at tight end, Trey McBride and Kyle Pitts. Got to add some more correlation on coming up in a little bit. We're feeling good about what we got. We got Washington, Atlanta game stacked. We got Arizona Rams game stacked with the highest quality players. 2 games I expect to go nuts in week 17. We'll do it. Matthew loves the team. I appreciate that. Go watch Neil move the sidekick all over his screen. I didn't see that recently. I did watch one of his streams. I was like, well, the sidekick is just taking up space. Cool looking product. Takes up a lot of space. I have severe PTSD and depression, and coming in here boosts my mood every time. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, Mo. That's really nice to hear. And that's honestly, I appreciate it. And I'm happy to be a part of that for you. Sure, there's a lot more that goes into finding whatever you need to get through the days with that, but very kind of here. Non-CMC team drafted by the fake Italian. Am I the fake Italian? Or is Neil a fake Italian? There's a lot of fake Italians out there. There's one guy who used to be at Barstool who was like fucking Albanian or some shit and would do the fake Italian shtick. And it's like, my God. I fucking, that company, I had good times there. I'll always look back. Yeah, I try to look back at things positively for the most part, despite all the litany of bullshit I was subjected to there. But fuck, that place just become fucking cartoons. It's just like, can we just be real people? Can we just go back to being real people that would talk like real people, like a guy on a bar stool in general in content? That was my whole thesis for content. It's like, I think content, I said this back when I was making stuff in the mid 2000s, that it's just like you want to be talking to somebody who's like your friend. And that's what the entire industry has shifted towards. I don't want to talk to cartoon characters and fake idiots, personally, and fake Italian people. I want real Italian people like this guy. I ate so much pasta this week. The wife made some chicken thighs and spaghetti. So good. I ate it cold because that's what being really Italian is. Eating your ethnic foods without heating them up. It's a big definition of what being Italian means. Enjoy the stream, guys, though. Again, it's been a journey all year. Fun doesn't stop here, though, because we're getting to 200 streams this weekend that I've drafted teams on this entire year. But subscribe down below with the like button. Again, I'm really one of the few shows out there that immediately transition to NFL DFS. I bring the same level of expertise and, frankly, more career winnings from the NFL DFS side. So please go subscribe down below, hit a like button, leave a comment. That's all coming up here. Schedule will be robust in season, I promise that. And some quick plugs, Underdog, $1,000 in bonus cash. Take advantage of that one because that one might go away pretty early in the NFL season. If you want to re-up, do that as well. Check the 10% deposit match they're giving for current customers as well on the app today. Drafters, I'll be on there tomorrow. As I talked about earlier, the fill rate's got a lot to go, 60% filled. Seems unlikely they'll get to 80%, which means you're probably looking at about $400,000 in overlay at drafters.com. Check it out. Use promo code SPLASH at drafters.com. Get $100 in bonus cash. And I would say even if you don't want to max it out, like you don't have to in 1 week, just put in 10 entries, get one free, take advantage of any bonuses they give out this weekend, and just get in some entries there because last year I finished top 110 with just 9 entries. I'll hold the fingers, just 9 entries. And I finished top 110. So you can do that for yourself as well if you have the sharpness and the quality. And the Best Ball Overlay tool has been a part of my process all summer as well, or most of the summer. Check it out, bestballoverlay.com, promo code SPLASH. We got some fallers here. I think Darnell Mooney fits our Washington Atlanta stuff. We need a receiver. Everything is coming up Spags in this room. Darnell Mooney, come on down. We didn't get Drake London in this one. So instead, we get a little taste of our boy, Darnell, our fallback boy. Certainly have more Drake London, like Drake London more as a player. But when you need Washington Atlanta correlation and Darnell Mooney is there, he's good enough. It's a classic, he's good enough kind of play. All right. Chandler goes. He would have been nice for this team as well. But sadly, he cannot join the squad. Third tight end. Dallas Goedert falling precipitously here. Nick Chubb. I mean, I think really at this point, I'm just going to kind of throw ADP out the window for RB in particular. You know what? Let's increase the Atlanta bet a little bit more. Take Algier. I'm just going to game stack the shit out of this game is what I'm going to hope for. Trey Benson, to me, just not a play I want to click right now. People think that Michael Carter not making the roster is a good thing for Benson. It is in terms of him being active. Really think that Amari DiMercato is the bigger blocker for Benson right now. He's not the most talented guy in the world, but if Benson could win that pass down role right away, I don't think he's going to win it personally. Certainly you can make the case opposite. But Benson would have correlated. I prefer Algier, I think, in this kind of build where I'm just looking for a median projection. Zig and Spags, correlate this sweet squad, or the squad. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I think it's a sweet squad. Am I Dortch over Wilson? I like them both pretty equally. I think I've gotten more Wilson just because of the ADPs. Not that he's cheaper, but he just aligns better for what I'm trying to do. I got 8% Michael Wilson, 5% Dortch. Think Dortch too, better full point PPR play. Wilson, maybe a little more touchdown equity. But really either one, if you have, if you don't have the core Arizona guys, especially, it looks better. But I do have the double stack already, so I'm not necessarily dying to add more Arizona on top. Benson's sort of like Kendry right now. Like you just hope they find snaps. Yeah, I think that's a fair one. You just get there at the end of the year. But that's the point, though, is like he's not priced for that. So that's the big thing for me this year has been, and I want to get better at it because I think I fucked up sometimes reading the markets overall, especially like in, the May, April, like big board times, especially where people were like taking Derrick Henry in the 80s because they're like, we just don't know where he's going to go. What if he never plays again? And in reality, he was going to get a nut landing spot in free agency because he's exactly the kind of player that a championship caliber team wants to add, who adds on the Ravens. I think getting better at that part of things in both BBM and in the big board, just like which guys are going to come up and be worth tons more the time the season starts. I want to be good at that. But one thing I've been good at is like just identifying where guys are not priced correctly. And Benson to me was mispriced in the 100s, mispriced in the 110s. He's getting a little bit closer to real price right now, where he's kind of a contingent play like a Charbonnet is. I was also shocked, by the way, to see on the stream before this one. Pete's highest exposed guy in BBM, our pal Pete Overzet, was Zach Charbonnet. Like, that threw me for a loop. That's been not great signal for a while. I was honestly shocked by Pete's exposures. I think maybe that's from having all the guests on and stuff. But seeing Charbonnet number 1, I was like, wow, it's a random bet to me. I'm low on Charbonnet this year after being really high on him last year. I think it's a Walker team, as I've talked about enough times lately. The signal for him in all of camp has been really good. Another thing that came out, I think, within the last day that I forget where I saw from, but like Kenneth Walker, they were talking about him being potentially a guy where it's like, there's a legit football newsletter that like wraps up a bunch of stuff. I think Albert Breer had recently said that Kenneth Walker is a guy where they expect him to be like the fulcrum point of their offense. And also they had pointed out that, like, or I guess Breer had pointed out, Charbonnet missed a good amount of camp, which I feel like wasn't reported a ton out there. And as a result, like ambiguous backfields, you want both guys out there being full go, getting a shot to win over the new coaching staff. If Charbonnet wasn't out there for portions of time, Walker was. We're getting signal that Walker's a guy they want to build around this offense. Like, I think Walker to me is like a really good play right now. And Charbonnet is not so much. But obviously, if Walker goes down, you know, Charbonnet, one of those contingent kind of plays with a little bit of work right now. Benson is not in the coach's doghouse like Kendre, as far as we know. But nobody gets in a doghouse quite like you get in Dennis Allen's doghouse in general. McLaughlin coming back would have been nice, but one of our boys is right here. Michael Wilson, also a fine enough pick. We're going to go Bucky Irving. Bucky, we need to make it up at RB a little bit because of all those deviations. Bucky's got projections. Getting him and McLaughlin or Davis on this turn would have been my real ideal here. But I think couldn't work out, so we're going to have to get a little more creative. This guy takes Michael Wilson, which is fine because, again, we have enough Arizona with the double. Triple's okay, but you don't need to reach for a triple. Or go out, I guess not reach. He was coming a little bit after ADP. But you don't have to go to your way to get a triple if you have the double and they're like superstars. Hopefully, like Harrison is going to be, along with McBride. Don't need tight end. John Dotson has been one of my guys, and I haven't taken him deliberately in builds like this. We do need to get more RB in, though. This guy's not coming back, and he's absolutely one of my guys, and I'm not going to leave him off the final team. Marshawn Lloyd, you haven't gotten the 150s in a while, bud, but for me, you're a player that should be in the 110s, really, is what Marshawn Lloyd should be. I don't care if he's been hurt for a month and a half. He's going to be fine. Marshawn Lloyd, RB5, 2552 here. We have Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., Tyjae Spears, Tyler Algier, Bucky Irving, Marshawn Lloyd. At receiver, Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, Jamison Williams, and Darnell Mooney. So a little bit lighter receiver, but we're going to have some outs late. I will tell myself as much as you guys. Trey McBride and Kyle Pitts. You see where we gave capital away. I think it's pretty obvious. We're taking the 2 QBs in the top 100, 2 tight ends in the top 100. Receivers suffered a little bit for it. That said, we're correlated well. Week 17 correlated in particular. And stacked up. We got the stuff we need. We'll be okay. How do you feel about Carson Steele? Was it a BB slow cooking with Mahomes? No, you got to take P. Ryan at this point. P. Ryan would be the one just give a shot to. Talk about Kenneth Walker, said he could be a full 3-down back. He wasn't really a 3-down back last year. He gave enough weight to Charbonnet. They're using him like that in the beginning, then kind of walked it back. Look, I think it's still a risk point, but new coaching staff coming in, I think if you can read an ambiguous backfield that just inherently comes with the new coaching staff and they give you signal, Walker didn't play in any games, Charbonnet did play in one, and that kind of tells you how they're prioritized immediately. And I don't think it's because that Walker has one more year of like vet status. I think it was just that they were like, we know what we have here. Keep this fucker safe, given that he does get hurt a decent amount. I know that hernias are likely to reoccur, but he's had a lot of those, relatively. The QBs and tight ends would make this a killer team. Yeah, we just got to get enough at receiver and RB still. Hollywood not going to be in for week 1. That's fine. Look, in best ball, you got the discount. Ultimately, to me, players probably shouldn't even have a discount with them if they're going to miss the first month of the year. It just doesn't matter that much how you build a team around it. If your team's relying on one player and they miss time, you know, you be behind the 8 ball and dig out. I had Christian Watson teams that made, you know, the playoffs last year, and he fucking killed those teams, especially if I took him early. So some of them with AR too were okay. Don't think they made the playoffs, but we're hanging in and like close to making it. So really, I wouldn't sweat one guy missing a week if you have like a lot of Marquise Brown right now. But obviously, don't play him in the showdown on Thursday. Let's talk more about that once we get into Thursday. Big tight end run here. We still kind of need everything at this point. Greg Dortch went at 164, so he's no longer an option, but that's fine. Shady advice, thinking about it. All right. Going to definitely take one more RB, but not going to do that yet. Demarcus Robinson falling in a lot of rooms. I like him more than some. Could also just go up and get Whittington or something like that. This is a tough spot for me. I'm going to go DeMarcus here. He's more projectable, and we just need better projection at receiver at this point, I think. Because, like, it might be, let's say Harrison is not the guy I think he's going to be and immediately steps on the field and is a world beater. That is something where maybe we need some cover for him earlier on. DeMarcus Robinson is that kind of cover. You could talk me into taking him and Whittington in this build, but that might be a little bit much without having the QB. Does wish Underdog would put the outer Q tag next to the names. Well, that would certainly change around things in ADP, like DraftKings for sure. That's another data point they have to update, so I get why they don't until it's in season. All right, J Pet. This guy loves the whole clock. Oh my God. Just killing me. I want to make my click. Get out of the way. Get out of here, boss. We got Justice Hill here, who I don't mind. We got 3 rounds left. We could hit 2 RBs, 1 receiver, 1 RB, 2 receivers. I think the latter would make more sense. I don't know. I think there's another Noah Brown. The upside of Noah Brown being mostly undrafted at this point is too tempting for me. Wouldn't hate taking Diami Brown on the way back if he were to come back. But Noah Brown, I think, is really one of those plays where if he put up, he won the Texans 2 games last year, putting up incredible outlier games. His upside to me is just what he represents as a guy who's undrafted in this offense. And also what he represents is like a guy that completely upset my Washington stacks. I want to get Noah Brown here a little bit more. I'm getting 1 more share of him. Isn't Whittington just a Puka handcuff? Kinda. He's also a guy that could displace DeMarcus Robinson as the year goes on. So, really, though, he could replace any of the 3 guys. Like if Robinson got hurt, Kupp got hurt, the first guy's going to come in as Whittington. So I think that in that respect, he's got contingent value for all 3 guys. He's going to get some guaranteed touches as well. So like he's a unique kind of play, Whittington is. I think they're going to scheme him right away. You have 2 to 4 touches. And then at some point, maybe displaces Robinson. Robinson was good enough not last year, though, that I think that he's still a decent bet as he's been coming down the board. He's old. He's not sexy, but Whittington's like a little too sexy as a play when like there's a good guy ahead of him. Lamb has a suspended tag somewhere, I think ESPN. That's where, yeah, I guess. I would think that people who are doing redraft leagues know that he signed his deal already, though. Let everyone know I'm home cooked most of your meals this week for the first time since having COVID. Okay, sure. Cooking your own meals is impressive. Good job. Guys, let's applaud everybody's success today. We applauded me for showing up and doing drafts and gambling for many days in a row. We could support Chunk for cooking for himself. I'll support all your guys' milestones, just like you support mine. Sure. I'm not going to blow the noisemakers quite as much. We got that out of our system bright and early here. All right, we got 2 more picks left. 1 last round of plugs, guys. $1,000 in bonus cash on Underdog. Do that. The big thing, though, coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow and Sunday, I have 2 doubleheaders of Drafters drafts coming again. I'm also going to be on the Pound stream and Fantasy Sanctuary stream on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. But throw that out the window. Worry about the Drafters part. Tomorrow, you can get your last drafts in with me on Drafters. Promo code SPLASH. Both RBs I would have taken are now gone. The cost of Noah Brown. But go to Drafters as well. Use promo code SPLASH for a $100 deposit match. As I've mentioned enough times on here, I finished top 110 last year with only 9 entries. Really do think you would be rewarded on there for going in. It's going to be a similar amount of overlay for them for last year. But you're also going to be getting a free entry if you put in 10. Just do 10 entries, get one free, do the deposit match. That's what I'd recommend right now. But check it out, drafters.com, drafters.com. Promo code SPLASH for $100 back deposit match. And there you go. Hey, I'm here to support you in your home cooking. Way to go. There we go. We're all here for Chunk. All right, Mac Hollins goes. Shady advice, digging deep. I'll take Diami too. Why not? Probably they both interfere. Entirely possible these guys with their roles just ping-pong around a little bit for Washington. Luke McCaffrey, I still like as a player, but I've got enough of him. He doesn't need to be on my guy team at this point. Let Chunk cook. Let Chunk cook indeed. All right, last pick here. We'll let the draft run its course, and then we'll do an exposure review. So we got pits. So we faded Drake London in this one. Washington Atlanta has been my biggest bet of the year. I can live with this RB room. Audric Estime is one of my biggest bets. Fuck, I was going to take Ray McLeod one more time, but Estime is right fucking here, and he is one of my guys for sure. Estime, RB6, you are my guy. This is really a me team. I got all the shit I wanted for the most part in this one in a final draft here. Didn't take P. Ryan, who falls to shady advice. We got 2682 here. Kyler and Jaden are our QBs. Love that. Brian Robinson Jr., Tyjae Spears, Tyler Algier, Bucky Irving, Marshawn Lloyd, and Audric Estime here, RB6. We have Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jamison Williams, Darnell Mooney, Demarcus Robinson, Noah Brown, and Diami Brown. So both Washington guys who could make an upswing. I think Noah Brown, by the way, immediately displaces Olamide Zaccheaus. He's had a good enough camp, though, that I don't want to say that with my full throat. But Noah Brown, to me, pick that I like a lot. And then Trey McBride, Kyle Pitts. This is 150, guys. So I'm going to let this draft finish out, I guess. If you want to drop some chats in there, let's do this because I want to give you my real exposures for the last look here at what we have. Boston Scott to Pittsburgh. Oh, boy. That's hilarious. Please cut into all the hope. Maybe not a great sign for Jalen Warren's hamstring, if I had to guess. We got exposure review coming up, guys, so stay with me once this finishes, but we will. But I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate our guy Matthew here. Joined us a little bit later in the summer as a member. Shout out all the members. Shout out all the the people who watch as well who aren't members, even though you should be a member. VIP Discord, guys. There we go. You see it on the screen, 150. Let's look at exposures. Try to get them all in. Takes a minute sometimes. There we go. All 150 are done. And we're going to look at Best Ball Explorer as well. But my final top 5, we got over 30% on Jaden Daniels here. Took him in the last 2 drafts. 30% Jaden Daniels, my bet. Marshawn Lloyd, another one of my bets here. 30% Marshawn Lloyd. Think that's the kind of bet you want to go heavy on. I'm excited for him. Think the run out's good for him. Even the quotes yesterday talking about how they want to see week to week who's healthy and ready to go in the Green Bay backfield. That's Marshawn Lloyd they're talking about. Think he's going to get used this year and used well. That is it for me. We got Terry McLaurin at number 3, Brian Robinson number 4, Bucky at number 5. This number 5 is it. I got my guys where I wanted them to go. These are the biggest bets that I believe in this year. I'm excited for them. That's my top 5. QB top 5, a little bit more all over the place. I flattened QB out based upon stacks, and I think I did that really well this year for whatever that means. Jaden Daniels, number 1 by a wide margin. I think he is a person who wins you fantasy football as long as he stays healthy and does what he's capable of. That's why he is that kind of bet. Derek Carr, just too cheap. A guy who's got Kirk Cousins upside. Jared Goff upside, who goes for free. That's my logic there, especially when I have a New Orleans bet, and especially when Juwan Johnson and Derek Carr were for free at the end of drafts. I like that one a lot. Will Levis at number 3, tied with Bo Nix. Again, 2 of my bigger late bets. Daniel Jones, one that I'm probably the most worried about late, but still, you take Malik Neighbors. It's a bet on Daniel Jones anyway, so why not just take Daniel Jones? That's the logic there. Then Matthew Stafford, technically number 5, a little bit ahead of Bryce Young, a little bit ahead of Jalen Hurts, a little bit ahead of Kyler, a little bit ahead of AR. All these guys, I like what this tier got there. Wish they'd all gotten to 10, but 9.3% more than the field of 3 guys that are pretty expensive, but I do like enough to want to prioritize. Got Jalen down here, but elite QB, I feel the same way Pete does. I don't really believe in it. That's like a concept that much, unless it stacks up well. Marshawn Lloyd, my highest exposed RB, you saw that. Brian Robinson, number 2, you saw that. Bucky, number 3, you saw that. Zeke, I just thought was too unavoidable as a buy going down to last week. I think he's locked into the goal line role. If nothing else, it's going to be a pure timeshare with Rico Dowdle. As Rico Dowdle said earlier this week, an exact quote. So for me, Zeke, it's an old guy. It's a gross bet. I think it's a bet that's going to hit, and that's what it comes down to. Jerome Ford, another one I was on bright and early, getting him a lot in the 130s. He came up enough. Took him a little bit less then. Same thing for Chase Brown. He came down a good amount for me to number 14% here. But that's really what Jerome Ford is. I think he's priced well. He looks good to me. He's my number 5. And then Chandler, Montgomery, nothing surprising here. Guys, I've scooped a good amount. I'm 2x the field on a 0 RB kind of builds. Receiver, Terry McLaurin was number 1. Luke McCaffrey carried himself into number 2. Thought he was just too cheap late. Still think he's an okay play. Adding Noah Brown, though, not great for him. He can get there by end of year. I think he's a little more of a Troy Franklin bet than I would like to have exposure-wise. But that said, he's a bet that I was in on, and if it kills me, it's because I ignored some stuff that I should have been concerned about more. His EPA metrics at Rice in particular. Keenan Allen tied with Marvin Harrison for my number 3 overall. 2 guys I've taken a good amount. Keenan Allen kind of being the end point of my 0 RB builds. For Marvin Harrison, a guy I just like to try to kick off in that 1-2 turn that I was in a lot this year. So that's good. And Nico Collins in at number 4, tied with Christian Kirk, Drake London, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua. I am loaded at receiver. So if early receiver, if you know, kind of ignoring the early RBs is the move, I'm really, really well positioned, I think, for it. I love my exposures at receiver. I was looking at him earlier and was like, everything but Christian McCaffrey, or Luke McCaffrey, rather, I feel really good about. Tight end, Ben Sinnott leading the way. Again, a lot of that coming early when I was making that Washington bet before anybody else was. Dalton Schultz, or, before the markets were really there. Fucking 2 people on Pete's Trucier video were like, Jaden Daniels is going to smash this year in a way that nobody saw coming. Saw it coming, if it does happen. But Schultz, similar play there, just betting on the QBs. They're going to have a lot of production, them creating values for their tight ends. Schultz and Sinnott, I think, similar plays in that respect. McBride, Laporta, got my 2 young elite tight ends here. Didn't get Kincaid as much because of the Allen draft. Are always going out of their way to get him. Wasn't deliberate. Would have been happy to get Kincaid at these guys' levels, but just really wanted to make a bet on 2 offenses I like a lot: Arizona, Detroit, and 2 teams that I think these guys priced appropriately. The stacks work, the Week 17 works, all of that. Whereas getting Jets and Bills is just never going to be a priority for me quite as much, even though it absolutely can hit for Week 17. And Juwan Johnson, he was free for a lot of drafts. Thought that was a good pick. A little bit ahead of Noah Fant, a little bit ahead of Brock Bowers. That's that. All right, Best Ball Explorer tool. Let's go over here. This is not all 150. This is going to be 148 of my drafts. So you saw here I got 2 more 11s. So I finished with 15 11-hole drafts, it looks like. 14 to 12 holes. So a lot of the back half of the round, which is how I got so much Puka, how I got so much MHJ, how I've kind of been able to dictate the board a little bit more. And I think it helped me get my exposures right. Same thing for being here. My most pick spot overall was number 5. So that allowed me to get a lot of Jefferson. It also allowed me to get Amon-Ra, allowed me to get enough Chase. It didn't allow me to get enough Tyreek Hill. I am low on Tyreek Hill because I only got 10 number 3 spots. I'm also low on Bijan and Breece because I had them priced at 9, 10. As a result, I only had 8 spots. I did not have access to those guys enough. So I'm going to be low on the Bijan Breece tier of RBs in the first round. That's going to be maybe a tough one at times this year, but still bets that I can live with. I wanted McCaffrey kind of. I wanted Bijan kind of. Bad signal late for him that was making me go there a little bit less. Breece, I've talked about just them adding constant RBs there, hopefully passing more. Those things that I don't think benefit Breece. So I'm okay with the bet being where it is, but for some people out there, a lot of sharp guys like Nez, Hodge, who works with over at the Solver. A lot of people love Bijan and loaded up on him. I'd rather have any receiver in that range. Besides that, playoff stacks. It may shock you to hear a lot of Atlanta, Washington, 35 teams, not including these last 2, had Atlanta and Washington correlated in some way. Most of them stacked up the Washington QB, 27 entries have Atlanta, Washington with Jaden. 7 of them have Kirk Cousins on that side. And only 1 entry has both because you ideally shouldn't have 2 QBs from the same Week 17 game. My least stacked Week 17 game is KC Pittsburgh. I faded the Chiefs this year for the most part. Faded Pittsburgh besides George Pickens and the RBs for the most part. That's how you end up there. Chargers, New England, another one I just don't see the utility on. Jets, I'm low on. Buffalo, less so. But stacking them together didn't happen as much. Denver, Cincinnati. Wish I'd had more, but I got no shares of Joe Burrow this year. He was impossible for me to pin down an ADP at any point. I didn't take Jamar Chase and Higgins enough, so Cincinnati is also one of my fades on the year. Miami got less because of Tyreek. Still stacked the team enough. Feel like I got a good amount of Waddle, at least with the field on him. Dallas, Philadelphia. Anyway, those are the stacks. Exposures on here, going to be the same thing. But who did I get the worst CLV on? You can answer that question. Obviously, going to be Marshawn Lloyd, if I had to guess. ADP lost 28 spots on my average Marshawn Lloyd click. Going to be a thing for me to cope with in my portfolio, but I do believe in the bet. My overall worst ADP, Kendre Miller, lost 65 spots of ADP value on him. Troy Franklin lost 56 spots of ADP value on him at a pretty good exposure as well. So Troy sucks. Still like the player. I can live with it. Nobody else I got a lot of who I lost a ton of CLV on. Good amount on Dotson. Lost 27.5 spots, but there you go. And my best teams real fast we can look at according to CLV. Sure, Franklin, Steph, your highest. Yeah, it's tough. I still don't think he's dead. That's really the main thing we're looking for. Even if you look at teams with shit CLV, like here, I'll show you some. My worst CLV team here would be this one. Lost 200 spots of CLV. And if you look at it, you'll get why. Drafted June 12th. So we lost CLV on Bo Nix somehow, but I was taking him in the 180s, so that's why. Kyler, got some CLV on him. Lost some on Mixon, got some on Jones. Lost a shitload on Lloyd. Lost a good amount on Labe. Lost on Harrison. Lost on London. Lost on Zay. Lost a ton on Addison. Ton on Dotson. Ton on Mims. Ton on Franklin. But the thing is, you look at this and you're like, shit, that's really bad CLV. The team's still not dead, and that's really the main thing here. These guys are all still healthy, able to go. They still have opportunity. The top guys still work for the most part for each team. So that's really the main thing here is like, you know, you lose CLV, it sucks, but it's not something that's going to kill you necessarily. And on the flip side, my best CLV team, still probably one we've seen before. Yeah, this late July or mid-July one. Kyler, Jaden, Baker, lots of CLV on the RBs. Didn't lose a lot at receiver, but do have Rondale Moore on it. So that's the downside of this team. And then I drafted late. I think there was one that I drafted really late. This one was just in a really soft room. I guess about a week ago. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields. Rare share of Justin Fields for me. Got value on Ramondre, big value on Jalen Warren, big value on Singletary, Gus, Bucky, Zeke, Justice Hill as well. Then had an extreme 0 RB build with Jefferson, some value on the Niners guys. Pickens as well, Godwin, JMO, Laporta, Kate Otten. So this is one of my higher CLV teams, and that was in the last week. So what does CLV matter? Who knows? I just forget what song that is. But I think if you search about a week ago song, you probably would get it. That's it, guys. That's my final draft of BBM, but not my final draft on stream. So first of all, go play an Underdog if you haven't yet. Some good overlay go in some of their tournaments as well, the sprint and the marathon, the less that it looked like. Use that promo code SPLASH on Underdog. Check the link in the description. $1,000 deposit match. We are still going this weekend. 4 more drafts coming with our friends on Drafters. So we're not done yet. This feels like the graduation as I've talked about. And I'll give you guys my heartfelt goodbye at the end, so don't leave yet if you can. But please go to drafters.com. Promo code SPLASH on there gets a $100 deposit match. And again, it's been a lot of fun drafting on there. This year I'm going to get in like 30 or so entries. Last year I got in just 9, though, and finished top 110. So go play on Drafters if you want to take advantage of the fact there's going to be about 400K in overlay because that tournament's not going to fill. It's going to be likely not filled by about 25% at drafters.com. Reading and names coming up. Before I do that, so thank you to all these fine folks, first of all, but let me take it off for a sec. So I've said it throughout the video, but thank you guys for the opportunity to be in your life, you know, mostly every day, a few times a week. Even you guys just watch occasionally, you can see a video pop up in your YouTube feed. I appreciate it. This has been a thing that I threw myself into full bore when Football Outsiders fucked me last year. And at one point, owed me $50,000 in salary. It was a really bad situation for me. And it was one where like, I tried to see the opportunity in it, just try to immediately recover for myself and start doing the work here, doing the thing that I love, which is thinking about football, looking at football, talking about football, being with like-minded people who want to learn about football and try to get shit right about it. That's what is fun to me. That's what sparks a joy for me in my life. And you guys have been a part of that for this last year where I've been basically doing drafts and doing content every day almost, at least 5 days a week. So thank you for allowing me to do that. Thank you for supporting here. We got a long fucking way to go before we catch up with the millions of channels out there that are actually making money in real businesses. But I still feel like we add value. And I hear from people who really have felt like they feel sharper for things, feel better about things. And that really means a lot to me. So thank you for being a part of that journey, really and truly. I'll give some more heartfelt shit, including on Sunday when you guys can enter the open room. I'll give you guys my last Drafters draft coming up this weekend. But lots of fun coming up. So Doubleheader of Drafters Drafts tomorrow and Sunday. I'm also going to be on the Pound stream tomorrow after my Drafters Drafts. On a stream with Tyler on Fantasy Sanctuary on Sunday. And that's my stream haul for the year. And then we get into NFL DFS stuff next week. But one more reading of names coming up. And thank you guys for watching. Shout out to all these fine folks, though, supported the channel. You too can support the show. Get a VIP Discord. You can get some team reviews if you want from me still. My rankings, which don't matter anymore. My news updates, which don't matter anymore, maybe. But you get all of that here and some stuff in season as well. You get my data sheet in season for people who are paying customers here. $4.99 down below. But Robert, I'm taking some water, guys. Okay. Reading of names. Robert Griffin III, Historical Anomalies, Matthew, Tyler, CLN, Mathology, Rupesh, Ivan, Russian Gangster Ivan, Io, aka Tony Mark, Brandon Wagner, Consigliere, Aaron D, Nez of the Badge Bros, done a great job this year as well. Jake Twitchell, fucking Alpha, Mr. I am the KY, Kevin Castro, Sammy Telesco, Lateralis, Legible Connoisseur, Short Gamer TV, Carlos Manzo, Chunk the Deuce, Gabe Davis, Thomas Schultz, Laces Out, Bolick, Spurious News, Jeff F, Craig B, Hoosier Devo, Jason Neff, Michael Thomas, Wounded Geese, Steel City Blue, W for Omega, C40, Artillery Frost, Benny, D. Owens, Meatwad, Kyle Zoom, Phelan Moosey, Nick Stevens, Mr. Poopy Butthole, Dylan Holzer, Dylan Quartz, Rough Buff Fire, Joe the Show, Broncos 05, Best Ball Brian, M. Ryan Dolan, STL Bree, Bob Hale, Independent Thinker, JPK Tampa, Paul B, Duke Dean, Adam Rockoff, Anthony Revela, Terrence, Curtis Broom, Vicious, Chris Pointer, Matthew Prees, Dylan, ATX Bearcat, DB Betts, Tyler, Matt, Kevin, Ball King, Mr. Patrick, Chung Bout, BGH, DTs, Best Ball on Call, Steve Nance, 283 Speed, Red Spike, Disbanded Brotherhood, Sean and Autumn, Cheesecake Lover, Trader Mike, Mad Max, Mr. Popinski, Who Hames. They've all helped me support the show, and you guys all are appreciated for it. Of course, join down below. Fuck me, subscribe, do all that. Don't fuck me. That's not part of the deal. Subscribe down below, hit the like button, leave a comment. And back tomorrow, guys. 4 more coming up this weekend. I guess technically 6 more. 4 more on the channel on Drafters. I'll see you guys then. Gamble responsibly. Get your Travis Kelce pick'em. And I'll see you soon. Enjoy your days. And, of course, good luck. And thank you, guys. Bye-bye.